explain one as we go a little bit, because part of it, like the game itself, is relatively complicated, but the best way to play, at least initially, is to kind of just play it and then kind of discover as you go. I only really started paying attention to the rules today, so I really don't know. We're gonna have to kind of figure it out as we go. There's no like DM kind of role at all. It's all, basically I'll be able to play the same way as everybody else. There are, similar to Gloomhaven, there are secret roles, so everybody's going to have objectives that you're trying to accomplish that you need to keep secret. In this game, you actually have to keep them secret, otherwise you would lose. But there could be, somebody that could pull a card that tells them that you're, a traitor and that you only win if everyone else dies, or if the whole ship blows up, including yourself. Things like that. You can kind of, be a saboteur of some sort, depending on what your objectives are. At the start of the game, you're going to get two objective cards, and you would win by, well, effectively either one. But very early in the game, you're going to have to choose one of those to just throw away, and then you'll only have one objective left to try to succeed at. Um, you'll have everybody has a class with different abilities and things like that. Those will change every time we play. If we choose to, there is a campaign mode for this as well. So there is, a version of this where you can keep the same characters and try to make it through and see if, who of the crew survives the whole way through. We're going to be playing a normal game to start with, but if we wanted to play a campaign in the future, we can. Um, the the general process is kind of, similar to most board games, where we're all going to take our turns, and then the enemies and the kind of events of the ship will take their turn, and then we start over again. Your turn consists of you have to draw cards, which everybody has their own little deck of cards, just similar to Gloomhaven. You have to have five in your hand. Certain characters might have more or less, but basically to begin with, everyone has five in their hand. If you played four the previous round, then you would draw four until you have five again. And once you have that five, you can then choose however many of those you want to do. And then you can choose to discard as many as you want to, and then the next round you would draw again until you have five again. The actual turns themselves, you can do two actions on your turn. And you would spend cards to do those actions. I'll explain all that a little more when we actually have hands in front of us for that to make some sense. But basically, you get two actions on your turn. But because, like I was saying, that you might have, one of us could be a traitor or have, goals that are not in line with everyone else, you don't have to spend both of those actions at the same time. So, say for example that Ben, if Ben was a bad guy here and he was trying to sabotage the ship, he could choose to spend none of his actions and wait for the rest of us to go, and then he could spend his two, or he could spend one of them and then wait for everyone to go, and then it would come back to him, and he could spend his last action, and then it would go to the enemies. You can split it up however you want to that way. It always goes in clockwise order. So one of us we'll draw a card order here in a minute, so we'll know who will start first, and then it'll go to the left every time, and then once Sako goes, it'll go back to Ben, and then back through. Now, keep in mind that Ben, if he were the saboteur or a bad guy, he could have spent one action, have one left, and then Fox spends her two. I only spend one of mine. Becky spends her two. Sako spends zero. It goes back to Ben again, and we would keep going until everybody spends either their two actions or chooses to pass. Once you choose to pass, your turn is over. You cannot reinsert yourself. You can't interact with anything else until the next round happens. So meaning you wouldn't get to interact until the enemies have gone, and then it comes back to your turn again after that. So that's, I think, everything that we kind of need to start with. Like I said, I'll be kind of learning as we go too. Oh shit, some of these things got dropped in the way. Let me move these. So we'll kind of be, figuring some of this out as we go. So bear with me there. Like I read over the rules a little bit and then watched a video. You guys are welcome to watch as well, to kind of get some rules there. Initially, I will say right before we begin here, it is best to assume that everyone has noble goals and that we are all trying to actually escape safely and kill all the bad guys. But if someone's acting weird, you can probably guess that they may have differing goals. But at least from the start, we probably want to try to stick together. And try to move quietly around the ship. We create noise as we move around, and the more noise there is, the more likely an alien is to drop down and attack us. There's a bunch of different kinds of aliens, and some are more deadly than others. We want to try to gather weapons and things to defend ourselves, or traps, things like to try to prevent the aliens from being able to kill us. And then we need to try to minimize doing, damage to the ship, like starting fires or malfunctioning equipment, things like that. There's crafting and a bunch of other stuff, but that won't really matter until we get our characters chosen. So to begin with, we need to, you know what, okay, I'm going to start the game. We're going to play a normal game over here, and then it's going to make us pick characters and everything. So do normal mode. We're not going to do any of the alternate rules. Give it a second to load. We're going to play with 5 players. All right, now, did it give us starting cards? Yes. Okay. So look at your hand down at the bottom. Everybody has a number there. It says 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5. Ben, it looks like you're first, so you're going to get to choose your class first. You see how yours has 1 pass? Do you see that, Holmes? Ben?
No, I'm still looking to see which one's my map. Which one am I?
You're in the bottom right.
Okay. Okay. And
Okay.
I see 2 cards and then like a smaller card.
Yeah,
right?
and the small one has the number 1 on it, right? It says
Mhm.
you were player 1. You see that?
Yeah.
Okay, so those 2 cards, before you choose your class, everybody look at the other 2 cards there, and don't flip them. Like these are secret, and you have to keep them secret. So don't flip yours, and don't peek at anyone else's. Everyone else, they should all be face down for everybody, right? Nobody can see anyone except your own.
Yeah, I just see my own.
Okay, all right. So mouse over those, zoom into if you need to. Those are your 2 cards. One of them is a personal goal. You'll see if it's blue and it says personal at the bottom. The other one is a corporate goal. Generally, the personal goal is a good guy, and the corporate goal is a bad guy. Not always the case, but those are going to be your goals that you're going to try to succeed. That's how you would win the game, basically, is if you get either of those goals successfully done. Now, like I said, when you get further into the game, a certain phase is going to happen. I won't ruin it yet, but a certain thing is going to happen in the game, and when it does, you're going to have to choose to discard one of those 2. So if you're further along, even if it's the bad guy goal, if you're further along in that one and you think you could pull it off, then you would still choose that one potentially to try to succeed at. Looking at that, you're going to try to choose your class. Now, the reason that's relevant is because the class that you're going to pick here in a minute, Holmes, you might have an easier job of finishing one of those goals. Like if one of them was to, sail the ship off into the sun, and you pick like an engineer that can control the ship, then that would be kind of a better choice than picking like a soldier or something like that. Does that make sense?
Okay.
Okay. So look at your 2 goals there. Kind of have an idea of what you need to do. Some of them can have an or in the middle too, like it might say, do this or this, and then you might have 4 total potential ways of winning there. All right, so once you have that, Holmes, you're gonna you don't get to just choose out of nowhere. Although I think we could alter that rule later if we want to. But for now, since we're gonna play kind of a base game, what you're gonna do is come up here. Fox, do you remember what was the tab? There it is. Yeah, tab. I was trying to remember what the thing is to drop an arrow. All right, so right here where it says character draft, don't touch the deck on the right. Just grab the one on the left, pull 2 cards out. Just Ben, to start with. Pull 1 out and drop it over to the right.
Oops. I got my.
You got it. I pulled it over. Go ahead and grab another one. And just drop it over here to the right. There you go. All right, now flip both of those. For me, it's G. I don't remember what you guys have it set to.
I think mine was set to F originally, so
Okay.
I'll try that.
There you go. All right, now flip the other one.
All right, I think I'm lagging a little bit.
I see the hand moving. Should be okay. Your hand's over it. It should let you flip it. Is it highlighted?
Yeah.
Here, I'll flip it. All right. So your choices then, to keep things simple, there are expansion classes too. We're not going to play with those the first time, but for right now, you can choose between the scientist or the pilot.
Okay. I'll be scientist.
All right. So then on your sheet, then right below where it says core, click on scientist. You'll see a little red button when you mouse over it. Click on that.
Yeah.
Right
okay.
here. Yeah. Click there, and then click confirm after you. And then once he clicks confirm, everybody else will see that that's grayed out, and as is the expansion one. All right, so scientist is now chosen. I'm going to move that card to the right, and we can put pilot back in the deck and shuffle. Yeah, I have to search then. Okay. There we go. put that back in, and now shuffle. All right, I am number 2, so I'm going to take mine now. Okay, or that. All right. All right, so shuffling, and I'm going to pull 2 cards out. I got Soldier or Captain. I'm going to take Captain and confirm. All right, that's done. Let me put the Captain is now set aside. Soldier can go back in the deck. I have to search it again. Hang on. Who is 3?
Oh, that's me.
All right, let me shuffle them. All right, go ahead and pull two out, Becky. On the left deck, yep. And flip them. All right, so you got Pilot or Scout?
Gout.
Scout, okay. Yep, set that to the side. Yeah, that's fine, doesn't matter.
Anywhere?
Yeah, that's fine. I'll put it back in the deck after, and then I'll put Scout, yeah, Pilot back in. Give me just a second. And shuffle.
Yeah. This one's
Okay, yeah, so hit, yeah, Scout, and then hit confirm. All right, and then Sako, you're next. We're missing one. What happened? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, we're missing a card.
At the bottom of the box.
Might be. You go ahead and pick between those, and I'll see if I can find the other one.
I'll
No,
do
it's
Soldier, I guess.
All right, so click on Soldier on your character sheet.
Soldier. And confirm.
Yeah. Fox. The medic is the advanced class. Well, you can check between pilot and mechanic. There's only the 2 left, so I don't know where the other card is. You know why it's not there, but that's okay for now. So pilot or mechanic, Fox. Fox, you there?
Yeah, sorry. There's 4 things left on my board. There's pilot, mechanic, android, or mechanic.
Yeah, ignore the ones on the right for now. Those are from an expansion. So we'll come back to those later. But for now, we're just going to play the base classes.
Um, I, hmm, I
So
guess
after you
mechanic?
look at your objectives there, whichever one you think pilot or mechanic would be,
Oh,
better to get you there.
objectives.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh my gosh, my keybinds are back to the original and it's confusing as hell. I'm gonna have to log into my other computer to refix my
Oh,
keybindings.
yeah. You haven't played it on the new machine yet.
No. Okay, hang on. My push to talk is making everything like look huge, so give me a sec.
Sure. I think this card. That's the scout.
Okay, there we go. That's better.
All right, Becky, I'm gonna move. Your scout card is like, in wait, Sako, you took soldier, right, Sako?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I have Soldier.
All right. So I think that's locked in the wrong place, and it's in. Yep. All right. Scavenger is Becky's thing for. Hang on. That's soldier. All right. So this goes over to Sako. Becky's scavenger. No, that's one of your cards. Ah, and the stupid bot thing stopped again. All right. I'll have to find a better bot. This one sucks. Every third or so play, maybe less than that, it has to start over again.
I guess mechanic?
Okay, so click on mechanic and then hit confirm after it loads.
I really don't get these goals though.
It'll make more sense when we get a little bit further in. All right, scout card is locked. There we go. Remove that. All right, Becky, there's your trait. Those cards that are loaded at the bottom, yeah, it looks like Fox and Ben's is stuck too. So let me unlock these. Lock that. That goes there. There's your trait. And Ben, yours is, Ben, you took scientist, right? Yeah. Okay. Now, if you have cards for another class, like that's mechanic. All right, so that's yours. Ben, okay, your cards are where they're supposed to be. Fox, yours would be here. If you look at the other character sheet, like look at the other guy's character sheets, that's where your trait cards would go. So that flashlight will go over to the right. Yep. That sawed-off shotgun, that's one of your items that goes in your hands. I think that's probably here, Fox. I think it's these. That's your left and right hands. Yeah, that it definitely is. So you, all right, everybody. I think everybody has them in their right hands, in their right places now. Becky, yours. I'm gonna flip this real quick. That's your starting item. I don't know. Okay, that a rifle. Yeah, so that'll be in your hand as well. So these two, I'm gonna go ahead and move these real quick, Becky. You know, because the starting setup for this isn't as smooth as it is obviously for Gloomhaven, all the scripting stuff. Those two, I think everybody has a hand item there. Yeah. All right. So those two slots where it says item, those are your left and right hands. You will, that's where weapons and things like that will go. If you needed to, as we're moving around, if you needed to pick up something that is a two-handed item, then you could potentially have to drop items too. So keep that in mind. It'll explain when we're going, so don't worry about that at the moment. But basically, the only time we can actually see what each other is carrying is if it's not in a pocket. So if you look at those weapons there, everything you just put in your right hand there, on the card itself, there's a few things to look at. I think everyone has a gun, it looks like, with ammo. So that number at the top is the number of bullets that you have. The top right, the gun icon itself is telling you that that's a weapon to be used in combat. That icon, if it had an X over it, would mean that you could only use it outside of combat. If it has the gun itself, it means it can only be used in combat. If it didn't have anything, then it means you could use it any time. Right below that is a hand holding like a handle, like a grocery bag or something like that. That handle, that means that it's a heavy item, and that means that everyone else can see it, that you're carrying that. That could be a bad thing potentially if you're carrying something that you're not supposed to be carrying, or that would give you away your objectives or your positions. So keep that in mind. Anytime you see that, it means it has to go in one of your hands and that other players can see it. If it doesn't have that icon, it would go up in the top row where it says items up at the top. And you'd put them up there, and other players cannot see those. You would put them face down up there, and other players do not know that you're carrying them, and you cannot tell them that you're carrying any of those things either. Anything else that doesn't have one of those heavy icons. That said, if you're in the same room as another player, you can trade items back and forth if you want to. Obviously, when you do that, you would be showing them what you have, so you'd have to keep that in mind if it was something that would give your role away. But if you want to freely trade items, you can do so. All right, so looking at your card, if you look at the kind of character, placard in the middle, the big thing that says your class on it, look at that, and on the left side of it, you'll see basic actions, and it shows the number 1, and then move, shoot, melee attack, pick up heavy object, trade, or craft item, and then 2 is careful movement. What that means is basically when I was telling you how you have to spend 2 actions basically per turn, that's a little bit more confusing there. All right, so basically you would choose to do either move or shoot, or you could move and then shoot. You could move twice, whatever you want to do there with your actions. Those numbers there, that 1 and 2, where it seems like it should be, that's your 2 actions or whatever. Like careful movement would be your entire turn. That's not how that works. What you do is when you draw cards, which we're going to be doing here in a minute, you have to spend whatever that number is in cards to be able to perform the action. You would ignore what the card itself would let you do, but you spend 2 cards to do a careful movement. You could still do 2 careful movements in a turn, but it would cost you 4 total cards that turn to do out of the 5 that you would otherwise draw. I know that sounds confusing, but that'll make more sense as we play. Other things you can do, though, are like if you look at your trait cards, those things that were off on the right there, like Ben, yours are Hollow Computer, which would cost you 1 card to do that. Laboratory equipment, to discard chemicals to activate it, it would cost you 1 card to do that. Those are quest items for you. Activate a plasma torch or a flashlight for Fox. I can do an intercom or log key in the comms room. Those are kind of special things that you might need to do at certain points. Things like shooting obviously would still be just a basic action. It would cost you 1 of your 2 actions, and you spend 1 card to do that basically. The cards themselves, go ahead and mouse over your cards real quick where it says action cards to the left of your character sheet thing. Everybody mouse over it and then hit the number 5 on your keyboard. Fox, it looks like you drew. Wait, you drew all of them. So take the last 5 and put them back in that deck.
What do you mean? I hit 5 on the keyboard and it just picked them all up.
It might be custom, keybind or something that you have. So it may not be. What it by default, Tabletop Simulator, is if you mouse over a deck and press a number, it'll draw that number of cards.
Well, it's still the default keybinds, so I don't know.
It doesn't matter. Didn't hurt anything. You'll want to face those down and drop them back in the. Oh, that's the like player hand thingy that it keeps dropping them into. So yep, pull it over, and flip it, and drop it on the deck there. You might have to stack them after. There you go. And then flip that one, and I'll stack it real quick for you. Stack. Wasn't it stack? Here, I'll pull them off. There we go. All right, now it's back to 5. All right, so everybody should have 5 cards, your 2 objectives, and your order there in your hand now, right?
Mhm.
Okay. And those are other actions you can do that would cost, one of your 2 actions on your turn. But those cards, everybody has their own separate deck, so every class has their own. The number that's on that is the number of cards that you would need to spend to perform that. You still only have 1 or 2 actions on your turn. You can choose to pass. You don't have to do. You have to do 0, 1, or 2 actions, I guess, on your turn. But you would still spend that number of cards to perform it. So, for example, I have one called Suppressive Fire that would still cost me the 1 action, but it would cost me 0 cards. So I would just discard this 1 card and nothing else, but it would cost me 1 action to make a shot, to try to shoot at a bad guy and move myself or one other chosen character within your room if you agree, without triggering an intruder attack, meaning an alien. So we'll get to those in just a second, but basically those are the actions that you can perform right now, or you can use those cards as fuel, basically, to perform any other action. So those cards themselves are the cards that you spend to be able to perform any action, whether it's the one on these cards or not. There are also room actions. So as we're moving around, like if you go to the engine room and you want to like check if the engines are working correctly or not, because very likely, let's say that at least somebody in here has something to confirm that the engines are working like they're supposed to. That's a common goal. Then you could do that in the room. The room itself allows you to do that without you don't need a special thing. You would still have to spend cards to do it, but you wouldn't need any other action to do that. All right, that kind of gets us going here. Everybody has their minis are all in the middle already. So I'm blue. No, Fox is blue. I'm white. The captain is on a wheelchair? No, that's Ben. That's a scientist. Okay, so the colors are incorrect. Let's fix those real quick. I'm the captain. It's showing me as blue, so I'm going to change mine real quick. Right-click your token. So find the one, mouse over the class that yours is. Right-click it. And then where it says color tint, the little box to the right, click on that and change it to what your character, what your color is for your class, and then hit apply. Ben's in a wheelchair. He's going to play some murder ball. Fox, yours is the mechanic. It gave you an engineer? Maybe that's the same thing. Must be, I guess.
Yeah, I gave me an engineer, so I'm confused.
Okay. The
The
engineer...
other one's a scout, so...
I think Becky's a scout.
Yeah.
And then Ben is soldier. No, sorry. Sako soldier. Cool. All right, I think everybody is good now. Okay, all right, so from the middle here, there's also, hang on, there's a body in the room. The game starts, all of us are in here. We are in a, in a ship that is, alien style, like the original Alien movie, traveling through space. We were in hypersleep pods, and one of the pods was damaged or something, and one of our crew members is dead, and there's just a dead body in the room. Well, in one of the pods, and that body is this one right here. So that's just there for now. That may become relevant later. Now, to move here, we would start in order. Ben got number 1, so Ben, you get this. I'm going to drop this thing over here for you. This little token, you're supposed to move it to the next person in line. And it would just go, even though it's, like I'm number 2, it doesn't come to me next. It would go to Fox next. But you're going to go first, Holmes. So looking at your objectives and deciding, what you want to do here, you would now decide to spend 0, 1, or 2 actions, or just pass your turn altogether. If you passed altogether, of course, you won't get a turn this whole round. So you can choose to move, and I'll explain, how that works as we go here. You can try to go into either of these rooms, so you could go down the hallway there or there. You see these hallways right here, these little corridors? We have to follow those. So you can go to any room you want to. It would cost you 1 action to do so. And movement is 1 card, so you would spend 1 card to move to either of those rooms if that's what you wanted to do. Or you can search. This room, I don't think there's anything in it. I'll explain how searching works when we get to a room.
Right. I think I'm going to move to the room top.
To the north one?
So
Okay.
so I would pick one of my cards down here to expend as I just need 1 for a movement.
Yep. And you would just choose one of the ones out of your hand, any one that you don't think you're going to use for this moment, and you're going to put it in your discard, which is to the right of your little character tab thing, where I'm dropping those arrows. And you're going to put it there face down too. So if you put it, if you drop it and it's face up, go ahead and just flip it again. We won't be, watching, so it shouldn't matter much anyways. But go ahead and drop it and then flip it.
Yep, still face up. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
There we go.
All right. Now, here's how movement works, and this is important. So, Ben, you're going to move over to this one, but for rooms that we haven't explored yet, there's 2 steps here that have to happen. This room... Oh, the other thing, too, I forgot to tell you. Hypersleep apparently causes a certain amount of amnesia. We don't remember what the layout of the ship is, and it's different every time we play the game. So, what's under this, I'm going to flip it here in a second, we won't know what room this is until we open it to look at it. The rooms in the middle are all kind of consistent, and then the ship will have a very specific, like, these set rooms will always appear on the ship, and then there's a bunch of rooms out that are further out typically that can be random, and there won't be the same number. Like the ship may not have like an emergency room at all, or it may have a hydroponics room and a different ship won't, things like that. The other thing is, see how there's 2, I'm going to move it to see this thing I'm moving around right now. That little token tells us how many items are in this room to search for, and if there's anything else, like if the room is on fire or if the equipment in the room is broken. So I'm going to move that over, and I'm going to flip it. All right, so there are 3 items in the room, and more importantly, if you look at the token right below it, so this one that I'm dropping the arrow on, if you look at that token, it says the number 3, which tells us how many items there are to search for, and it shows a door. And what that means is that after Ben walks into this room, the door slams shut behind him. And this room is a shower. So he walked into the shower, door slammed shut behind him. Now this part here, I have to rotate this to show how many items there are so that we can get rid of this token. So you see this little arrow here, guys? This tiny little arrow by the room? This little red one that's pointing at the side? How this works basically is we take this room, and you see how there's numbers around the outside? It says 0, 1, 2, 3, or 4. We grab this and we rotate the 3 until the arrow is pointing at the 3, and that's how we know that there are 3 items remaining in this room. So if Ben chose to search, he might find 1, he might find 2, whatever, and then we would move it to point how many items are still left in the room until it gets back to 0. For now, there's 3, and there's a door that slams shut behind Ben. So let me copy the door. Drop it here. There we go. All right, so now the door, which, I mean, you can open or break it, but for now, Ben is in this room by himself, and we have to roll for some noise. Ben, go ahead and move your token into that room. I think we can just delete this one now, because each one will spawn its own. All right, now, after movement, Holmes, and this is for everyone, really, anytime you move into another room, you have to roll for noise. And basically, every time you move around, we want to try to be quiet, and the noise is what kind of attracts the aliens in the room here. So let me go to that page here real quick, because it's 40 movement actions, because I know we have to roll the die, but I don't remember what how the result works. So let me page this to here. Movement and exploration, it is... All right. Neighboring rooms, doors blocked, blah, blah, blah. Unexplored, we did all that. A noise roll. All right, so if there is anyone, either a character or an alien in the room, then you do not make a noise roll. But right now, this was no one else had been in here yet, so we have to make a noise roll. Ben, you already discarded your card, right?
Yeah, I already put it in the discard pile.
All right. Corridor connected to the canteen. Okay, Ben, down by your character sheet over here, right above it, you see the little red and orange token thingies?
Yeah.
Those right there. The one that says noise is the yellow, so click on it once, and it'll throw a die up in the air, and it'll land down, and we'll see what the number is. danger, noise, or intruder. All right, so that one definitely creates a noise token, but I think it's that might even spawn a bad guy. All right. Ignore that. If there are no intruders in any of the neighboring rooms, or if they're in combat, place a noisemaker in each corridor that is connected to that room that doesn't already have a noise. All right, so you made a ton of noise, and now there is noise in each of the connecting hallways. So there's one there, and one here, and one here. Now, that noise, everybody that just sees all that, all the banging that Ben made when he walked in there, if anyone else creates any noise in those hallways, it will instantly spawn an alien that will attack, whoever's nearby. So right now, there's already one in each of those, which is really bad news. It means that if any of us walk through there without being careful or roll badly, it will immediately spawn an alien. And Ben is now surrounded by noise, which will attract them. So we need to try to be careful if we're going to go that way. Not only that, but of course there's a locked door or a closed door between us and him, anyways. All right.
Does that
so
noise bleed over turns? In other words, after a turn or two, it goes away, or is that forever?
it is it does go away in certain circumstances. For now, it is there permanently. You can still move quietly. It's called careful movement. The thing stopped again. And to do careful movement, takes both of your. Oh, sorry, it takes 2 cards to do it. It takes one of your actions and 2 cards. So you can intentionally, like we could try to follow Ben and I'll try to move carefully, but you can still roll badly, which would still, oops, that didn't work. There we go. That should work. See if that does it. All right, there we go. Okay, all right. So Ben, that was one action for you to move in there. You can still, choose to search, or like if you look at your card there, your character sheet, one of your choices is. Oh, I'm sorry. You actually have to use a card to search. So if you had something, one of your cards is to search, you could do that. There's no heavy objects. You could craft if you had the things. You don't have the items to be able to craft anything right now, or you can do a careful movement to try to move on further.
I think I'll search.
Do you have a card? Okay. All right. So go ahead and put that card in your discard.
Okay.
And now, okay. So search for you. You know what? I don't think it'll matter. I think we could probably leave those face up, but it doesn't matter. Just for now, just so I can read the search. Flip it back over. Pull that one off. That's okay. I'll move it real quick.
Okay.
There we go.
Sorry.
All right. You're good. All right. So how search works then? If I can get these to stack. There we go. Now, because this one says 0, it means you don't have to spend any other cards to do it. If it said 1, you would have to spend the search card and one more card to fuel it. Does that make sense?
Yeah, okay.
Okay. So you reduce the item counter of the room by 1, and you draw 2 item cards of the same color as the room. So this room is white. This is a little more confusing, but if you guys look at the icon on the top of the card here. I know it's upside down, but you see how it shows 3 icons there: a red, a yellow, and a green. You guys see that? Right there. So normally this room could be red, for example. If it was red, you'd only be able to choose items from the red deck. Since this one's white, you can actually choose any of them that you want, Holmes. You're going to draw 2 cards from... Where are they? Right over here. Oh, I think I found the other card finally. All right, so right over here, Holmes, you see red, green, and yellow cards right here. You're going to draw 2, pull 2 off. Don't show them to us. You leave them face down. And you can pick whichever, you can pick a green and a red if you wanted to or whatever. Okay, now you need to look at both of those without flipping them. You need to look at them. Choose one of them.
How do I look at it without flipping it?
I think it's shift. I think it's shift and look at. Here. I think it's shift.
Alt,
okay.
maybe.
Yeah,
Shift
alright,
and
so
alt
shift and then zoom in or whatever, something like that. You got it? Oh, I see the icon, yeah. So you're going to pick one of those 2, and then you're going to put the other one back on the deck that you took it from. You only get to actually keep one, but you get to choose which one you're going to keep.
Do I use this right now, or do I get to keep this in my inventory or whatever?
It goes here on your inventory.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. And it goes hidden in your inventory, so you don't flip it. And depending on what it says, like if it says, 0 cards or something like that, you could use it on your turn as an action. the two actions you get, but whatever the number is how many cards you'd have to discard to fuel it. Okay, so put the yellow one back on the yellow deck, and I'll shuffle them.
Come on.
I'll grab it. Let me see if it'll let me.
Thanks.
Yeah, there's like a box thing in the way. I'll kind of fix this up the way that I did the Gloomhaven one later on. All right, that's in there. Let me shuffle it. All right, so that's done. Now we need to decrement the number of items because there were 3. Now there's only 2. So I'm going to go ahead and, if you go back over to the board here, Holmes, I'm going to pick your card up and rotate it. So now the 2 is in front of the arrow, so showing that there's only 2 items in this room left, and that is it for your turn. So, well, you've spent all of your actions, so now you would have to pass, which means that your card that is in your hand, the one that shows your number, you would flip that over so it says pass is face up, which right now I think yours already is. I'm not sure. You know what? Actually, here, that should be visible to everyone. Go ahead and everybody grab your card, your help card that has your number on it, and put it.
Oh, there we go. Okay.
Yeah, go ahead and grab it, pull it out of your deck, and just put it like up by your character sheet somewhere. So and then flip it over. Well, leave it. Don't put it on pass yet because you're not actually passing until your turn's over. But that's how we know who's spent their turn. Just put it somewhere on your sheet where everybody can see. Let me flip mine back over so it's not on pass. That's how we know we can skip people basically, is if your card is on pass. Oh, hang on, it might be. I bet it's right here. I bet it's supposed to be that. That's fine for now though. All right. So Ben, that is it for your turn. You would then grab your this token right here, and you would pass that to Fox. So just drop it by Fox's sheet. Yep, like right there. That's fine.
Okay, there we go.
All right, so Fox, it is your turn. Obviously, that was, we were explaining a lot there, so that took a lot longer than what would typically be for a turn. But, just like Gloomhaven, it takes a little while to learn everything. So, Fox, you are still in the hibernation chamber with us. There's a body there. Ben just went through to another room and a door slammed behind him, and it created a ton of noise. What are you doing?
Okay. I guess I'm gonna try going into this room. See
Okay.
what this is.
All right, so discard 1 card for your movement. So just grab any of those 5 cards that you have and put it in your discard pile. Anything you don't think you're going to use right now anyways. It's okay, dog. Esther.
Okay.
It's alright, girl. Alright, so you discarded 1. Okay.
Yeah.
Now we are going to flip this, so go ahead and come back up here, and I'm going to let you do it. Take your token off and just put it in the hallway for the moment. It's okay, Esther. There you go. And then, flip that. Alright, so this room is on fire. There's only 1 loot. We are not off to a great start. Go ahead and move that token off to the side. And then flip the room itself. Okay, and now what we're going to do is, here's the arrow right here. So rotate it until the number 1 is by that arrow, and then drop it back in. There we go. The 1 is coming from the number of items that are there, but it's now on fire. So we need to grab one of these fire tokens from over here and drop it on the room. Okay, and then go ahead and then put yourself in the room. There's no away from the fire when you're already in the room. But all right, so how this works now: if you end your turn in this room, you'll take some damage. Everybody look at your character sheets. Your little character token thingy. On the right side of it, you'll see light wounds. It says 1 light wound, 2 light wounds, and then serious wound. How health works in this game is if you just take damage from fire in a room, for example, you would start with 1 light wound, and you would put one of these little red tokens. You see the little red square that you guys have on your sheets? You would drag one of those up, and you would put it on the light wound. And that's an unlimited stack of those red. You just use those for objective markers and stuff. Sorry, let me turn this down a little bit. All right. But so if you don't have the wound yet, Fox, you could still move through here and not actually take the damage. But if you were to take damage from an attack or anything like that, you would start typically with a light wound. Then you would have 2 light wound, and that would turn into a serious wound. Serious wounds, when you get those, will be different things. Like you could have an injury to your leg that means your movement is reduced, or to your arm, and maybe you can't shoot so well, things like that. Serious wounds, you can have up to 3. You see that on the right side where you have slots on your character sheet for serious wounds. You'll have a card that will go in there telling you what the wound is. If you then make it to like the med bay and you manage to bandage it up, that serious wound will no longer impact you, and you'll be able to move normally and so on without it impacting you otherwise. But if you get 3 serious wounds, even if they're healed, and then you take a single point of damage after that, you're dead. So if you don't, so if you took a whole bunch of light damage, it will still eventually add up. But the aliens might hit you a single time and rip your arm off, and that'd be a serious wound. So you would that can add up really quickly. For now, though, the fire is in the room. You can make it through, or you can try. Now you took one action to get in here. So if you're to try to search in, oh sorry, we still need to roll noise. Let's do that before we decide other action. Go ahead and roll your noise, Fox. So you're over here. Click on the little yellow one. It'll throw the die. All right, so 2. Let me read that again because I think it just means 2 noise tokens go in the rooms around. Noise roll. Top that's over here. If you're moving to a room with either another character or an intruder, you do not perform a noise roll. If the result is 1, 2, 3, or 4, place a noise marker in a corridor with a number corresponding to the number of your noise roll connected to the room you have entered, counting technical corridors if they're entrance in the room. It may not contain, the corridor cannot contain more than 1 noise marker. If you're instructed to place a noise marker in a corridor that already contains 1, you resolve an encounter, meaning an alien shows up. All right, so what'd you roll? What was your number? 4? 3?
2.
2? Okay, all right, so we're looking for hallway number 2, which is this one right here. So place a noise token here. And it's right up there by the fire, right over here. Grab one of those. Yep, drop it in that hallway. And now, if you were to try to walk into that hallway and go into this room, if you were to, because you don't, when you move, you go room to room. You ignore the hallways. You're just using the hallways to get there. But if you were to go into, if you decided to move and not stay here and get, caught on fire, then you would have to pass through this hallway. You could potentially, when you're in this room, if you make another noise roll and you got a 2, it would spawn an alien right here in this hallway, right behind you. Meaning it would, drop down one of the vents and attack you. So, you spent 1 action. You can spend a second action if you want to search this room. You might have another card that you want to spend to do something, or you can try to move into this room over here, or over here and risk making more noise.
Can I use a card?
Yeah, if you have a card that it will take your action to do so, of course, but what is whatever your card is that you want to do, like if you have something to put out the fire or something like that, that could potentially be useful too.
Maybe?
Okay, so what's the card that you want to use? It's okay right now. Honestly, I'm not concerned with everybody knowing each other's actions. I don't really think it's anything spoilery in there.
Okay, well, there's 2 different cards I could potentially use. It's the
Fast repair. Or what's that do?
that
Discard
one
malfunction
or
okay.
That one is what I was thinking.
Okay,
but
so
I'm not sure which one would work.
The malfunction is a separate thing that can happen. So fires and malfunctions are kind of 2 of the main things. There's also slime and some other stuff that can happen in the room. This one's not a malfunction specifically.
Okay,
but
so that would be useless.
That one wouldn't help you right now. The other one, for searching, yeah. So you could search this room, which would let you, it only has 1 item in it anyway. You would get the item, but you would definitely take damage because you would be ending your turn in this room, and the fire's in here as well. Does that make sense?
Wait, so I can't search and move?
Well, you already moved 1 to get in here, and that was 1 action. So the next one, your second action, if you searched here, would mean that would be the end of your turn, and you would be ending your turn in the room with the fire, and hence you would take some damage.
Okay, I'll just go into the next gym then.
Okay. All right, so go ahead and leave yourself in the corridor real quick, and we're going to do the same thing we did last time. Now, you won't take damage because you're, well, from that anyways, because, okay, all right, so that's danger token. We'll come back to that in a second. Go ahead and flip the room. All right. Comms room. Okay. So if you needed to send a signal, if anybody has a which objective. Oops, sorry, I grabbed the wrong thing. Your token's underneath. There we go. Okay. All right. So you got it perfect. That's lined up for 2. That's good. So there are 2 items in this room. That danger symbol. I'll go ahead and move you in. Means that noise occurs in all of the connecting hallways. So,
oh, for the love of.
That's what happened to Ben too. So, hang on, let me double check this. I know that is for, danger. Do not perform a noise roll. If there are no intruders in any of the neighboring rooms, or if they're in combat, place a noisemaker in each corridor that's connected to this room without a noise marker already present. And if there was, of course, it would spawn an alien. So go ahead and drop, yep, in each of the corridors connected to that room. Which is both of the ways to the engine. That is bad news. So if anyone, couple things there. If anyone needed to send a signal as part of your objectives, this is the room that you need to be in, is where Fox just went into. But now the engine rooms in the back here, both hallways into the engine rooms have noise the whole way through. So keep in mind, you can always try to quietly move too. It costs you 2 cards to do that. Remember, though, that your cards, you can never have less than 5. So even if you spend all of your cards for your turn, that's fine. You still get 5 back on the next turn anyway. Anything you discard eventually goes back into your hand, and you get it back. That said, we haven't come into this yet, but you will start to get a bunch of like garbage stuff that fill up your hand too, because there are infections, contagions. There's, you could be carrying a larva, like chest burster style alien larva. All of that, and those things fill up your hand as well, which kind of ruin your ability to be able to act, because you can't do those things. So it's the wrong channel. I just saw that you guys were putting it in the
Okay.
Emperor's channel instead of the board game channel. What's that?
Okay, wait. So technically, I could send a signal.
You've spent your 2 actions now.
Okay, so
On the next turn, definitely though. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So I know this part's a little bit confusing, but if you look at the number on your cards, that number is how many cards it would spend to be able to do that. Yeah, go ahead and flip it. Fox says pass. Your turn's over. Yeah, I think that's a good spot for it. I think it's supposed to be where it says player right here, right there. I think that's where it's supposed to go.
Oh, okay.
I'm guessing, because there's nothing else I think that needs to go. I'm gonna go ahead and put it there actually for Ben too. There you go. Cool. All right, so then it would go to me. So your turn is now done. You spent both of your actions. We can delete this token. And now there's a bunch of noise around, and a room that's on fire, and a door that's closed. I might. So it's going to go to me.
Not many good options. I'm sorry.
No, and this it devolves very quickly as soon as aliens start showing up too. There's a thing that happens as soon as the first alien shows up, or as soon as the first player dies. Which there's a whole lot of other things that can happen when a player dies. So goes to me next. So I'll drop that here. I'm gonna look real quick, because I think bashing a door down automatically makes noise. Unless you can just open it. Maybe you can just open it without having to break it. Let me see. Doors. Actions, move and exploration. Markers and doors. Alright, so it's right after this. 5. Alright, door tokens. Closed doors are marked as a standing door token in a corridor. Closed door prevents characters and intruders from... it calls the aliens intruders for the most part. There are 3 different species of alien. We're playing with the basic ones right now, but there's much more advanced versions of the game too. So there's plenty of room to grow basically in this game. If an intruder tries to move through a corridor, the closed door, intruder does not move, but it destroys the door instead. Destroys doors are just marked with a door laying down. It can never be closed again. An open door, simply remove the token. All corridors have open doors, yeah. If there are no door tokens, blah, blah, blah. Well, how do I open it? Do I just spend an action? All right, next page. The stupid thing broke again. All right, that's encounters. All right, well, it doesn't say how I'm supposed to open it. Let's see. This bot is really irritating. Cancel. All right. They do not affect noise markers. Closed door prevents characters and intruders from moving through. But I know I can open them, so 2 marked doors open. It doesn't say... Alright, I'll just Google it.
Video you showed me shows that you can choose to open the door, but it shuts immediately right behind you.
But what does it cost is my question. Is it a free thing? Doors are normally open. They can shut if player enters... Once closed, they open central using the action demolition or using equipment. Oh, geez. Okay, so you can't just open them. Closed door is the same as a blocked door. So, all right. So if I had a demolition or a tools card, then I could open it. Otherwise, that's just blocked. So we have no choice but to go into the fire room. Thanks, Ben.
I mean, if you have a card that lets you open or close a door, you can.
Yeah, but I didn't look at my cards yet. So let me see. Let me see what my choices are. Oh, I do have a demolition card. Okay. But how much noise does that create? Destroy one closed door in a corridor connected to the room you're in, or place a malfunction marker in the room you're in. Okay. And that's 0. It would still take an action, but it's 0 cards beyond the demolition to do that. So I would just move in there, and it doesn't automatically make noise. I would just be moving in over to where Ben is. What is my objective, though? Let's see. Oh, geez, that is mean. uh,
Well, now I just don't trust you.
well, I get to choose. So, I mean, keep in mind early on. So okay. The thing that happens as soon as the alien shows up, by the way, as soon as we have a single alien that drops on the board, that's when you have to choose one of your objectives and destroy the other one. And you can't. The other one just doesn't exist anymore. So I still could choose the good guy choice. All right, I am going to do demolition for my first action. Yeah, so it's going to have to be that, and then I'll move as my second action. So discard demolition, which costs 0 cards, so just that one card, and I'll destroy the door. The noise stays there, but I'm going to break the door. All right, so it is now broken. I am yellow. No, white. There I am. Okay, and I move into the room with Ben. Now, here's the thing, right? So the noise roll only happens if there's not already a player or an alien in that room. So I've now moved into this room. It cost, I had to use one action to break the door using my demolition card, my second action to move. So I can't search or anything else in here. My turn's over with, basically. But there's no noise roll because there's already somebody in here. Does that make sense?
Yep.
All right, so that is it for my turn.
Do they have to still be in that room, or have just somebody been in that room?
No, if the room is empty currently, you make a noise roll. Yeah, you only get to avoid the noise roll if there is currently something in the room, alien or otherwise. All right, that brings us to Becky.
Okay. Now I have a question, because you were cutting out a little bit when you were explaining stuff. Are we trying to stick together, or are we all going separate ways?
Well, so you guys have
You
a
cut
little
out.
bit. Sorry, so you guys, yeah, everybody has a little bit. In fact, here I'll drop the strategy tips here in the channel, in the board games channel. But it definitely suggests early in the game that it's best to try to stick together and try to move quietly. As you see how much noise we've already created, if we create a single more noise token on any of those that already exist, that means aliens spawn instantly. So moving together and moving quietly, careful movement, costing 2 cards to do so, is the ideal way to do it. That said, if you have an objective that that you're aiming for, and you think you can pull it off, quicker, you would want to do that. As this game you have to play selfishly right now. There is a full co-op version that we can try playing later if you guys want to as well. But for now, yeah, yeah.
It wasn't my objective card. It was a quest item thing. So I have to activate it in the cockpit. So.
I don't know if we need to do those things. Activate the comms room. I don't know what those are for. That might be one of the expansion things, because the quest items didn't come up in the original rules.
Oh, well, in that case, I will just follow you guys in this room. So I will use this one. Oh, it's got a flip. Okay, so I'm gonna walk in that room with you guys, and then I will. There's still items in there, right?
Yes, there are currently. Let me move myself real quick. There are 2 items left in this room right now.
Okay, great. I will use my search card, which requires 0 other cards.
I'm gonna go ahead and move you.
Right.
Okay, so that'll be 1 action to move and then 1 action to search.
Yes.
Okay. Now for searching, this is a white room, so you're going to choose 2 just like Ben did from any of these 3 decks. You're going to pull 2 of them out, and then you need to peek at them without flipping them. So, that's military, that's going to be ammo or guns, utility or healing items. Oh, you know what? I did something wrong on the last time. I put one of them back in the deck, and it's supposed to go in the discard pile instead. So go ahead and peek at those. I think it's shift.
Oh.
Shift in like your zoom button or something like that, I think.
Try to remember what my zoom button was. I had it written down here.
Mine is F, but I don't remember what it is by default.
Nope, that's shuffle, change angle. Okay. Alt and shift. There you go.
There
This
we
is
go.
why I
Now you
write
can peek it.
everything down.
Yep, there you go. I see the icon that you're peeking at it, so.
Oh,
I'm gonna go ahead and rotate the room while you're doing that. There were 2 items left, now there's 1.
that would be good too.
Poor Fox is stuck on the other
And
side of some fire by herself now. But she might be trying to kill us, so I don't know how considerate we should be.
Wow, that's rude. I just want to try a different
I'm gonna-
direction.
I'm kidding, Fox, I'm kidding. We're
The
all still learning.
strategy site's not working at all.
The strategy? The what?
Yeah,
Yeah.
the strategy thing's just not loading.
What's... Oh, that link?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe the site might be having trouble. I loaded it earlier. You're putting that one away, Becky?
Yeah, what I'm not keeping just goes back in.
Yeah, I'll drop it on the discard over here. That's what I
Nope.
did wrong. Is I put it back in the deck.
It
Okay.
won't go.
Yeah, there's a stupid thing in the way there. I'll have to fix that later. Okay, so you put that in your inventory. Again, don't flip it. Like keep it hidden, but put it in your inventory. All right. So you moved and then searched. So that's it for your turn. You moved into a room where there already people were, so there's no noise roll to be concerned with. And that means it's Sokko's turn, so go ahead and grab this thing, Becky, and then give that to Sokko. Just put it over by his sheet. Oh, I passed, didn't I?
Space cat.
There we go.
All right.
Now, keep in mind too,
I'm
Sokko, I know, well, you're at the end anyways, but you don't have to spend both your actions. So if you wanted to, move and then wait to see what everyone else does, you could then split it up and so on. Right now, everyone else has already passed, so if you didn't spend your 2 actions, you could just pass at any point if you wanted to, but it wouldn't, it would just go right back to you, basically.
All right. What I'll do is I'll move down here.
Okay. Oh, shit, I didn't even see that there were 2 other hallways. I thought we only had those 2 choices. Sorry, guys. Yeah, so there's 2 other hallways here,
So
north
I'm
and
gonna
south.
Flip this, right?
First, flip the smaller token. That one.
Small token.
Yep, and set that to the side.
3 items.
Yep, 3 and a malfunction. So whatever. Oh, geez, hang on.
How's that?
Stupid thing. This bot is garbage. All right, stop. All right, I'll find a better one. All right, so go ahead and flip the room now, Sokko. All right. Now there's 3 items, so go ahead and pick it up and then rotate it until the arrow is pointing at the 3. So you see that little arrow. There you go. Yep, perfect. Okay, and now we need to grab one of these malfunction tokens and drop it on the room. There you go. Just like that. All right, so another thing I had not mentioned yet, and I should have mentioned it with a fire, there are 8 total fire tokens, and there are 8 total malfunction tokens. If we use all 8, meaning that there are 8 rooms that are on fire or 8 rooms that are malfunctioning, the ship blows up and we all die. So there's a whole lot of ways for everybody to die in this, as you guys could gather by now. Right now, we have 1 fire and 1 malfunction. Malfunction does not hurt you the way that fire does. It just means that whatever this room is supposed to do, like if this was the signal room, for example, and you needed to send a signal, you couldn't do it until that malfunction is repaired.
First.
Yep, exactly. All right.
Okay.
Now, next thing, though, is we need to do, your sound roll. So go ahead and make your noise.
Didn't drop the dice. Let's try it again.
There we
you
go. All right, so number 1. All right, so that means the hallway number 1 that is connected to the room you just came out of, which is this one right here. Drop a noise token in there.
Ah, damn it.
Which is, that might have been the direction you were intending to go, but
Yep.
you could still try to walk through it carefully, though. So, all right, so you spent 1 action to get here. Whatever your cards
now
are.
What I'll do is I will use a search card, which is a 0 card.
Okay.
So I will discard this over here, right?
Yep.
And then it says reduce item counter by 1. Draw 2 item cards of the same color.
Yep.
You are in.
Oh, hang on. Okay, so of the same. Okay, so where I had you guys just choose any 2. No, never mind. It is specifically referring to the room. It is still a white room, just like the other one. So you can still choose any of these, Sokko. So healing items, utility items, or military items come over here.
And it says pick 1 and then discard the other. So I pick 2 cards, 2 item cards, and discard 1 of the item cards.
Yep. So come over to the item cards over here, and then ignore that one, but grab any 2 of the others.
take one of these bad boys and take one of these bad boys.
Okay, and then you need to peek at them without flipping it.
Shift and Alt.
There you go.
Okay.
I just realized I never hit the begin game, and if I did it now, it'd probably break, so we're just going to leave it like it is.
Okay, and I just move these over to my area, right?
One of them. You choose one. The other one goes in the discard. You
Okay.
wanted to keep that one?
Yeah, discard that one.
Okay. All right, that goes in discard. There we go. All right. Now that is it for your turn, because that was your 2 actions. So go ahead and flip your in fact, actually, you can leave yours. Everybody go ahead and flip your cards back over. Your play or pass card. But now, yeah, that's actually going to, it's going to go all the way to Ben on the right. There we go. Perfect. Go ahead and flip your cards back over so that you're back to play and not pass. And now it is the aliens round.
I have to rotate this room too, sorry.
Yeah, to... How many were... Whatever.
There's
not
3,
4.
now there's 2.
Okay, perfect. Yep, cool. All right, next is the alien round, which is... Let me see here real quick.
Is there a way to know what the rooms do? For instance, the cabin right now is broken, but if it's not broken, what does a cabin do? How do I know what the cabin does?
Your objectives might have things for you. Things like, engine rooms and stuff like that have a... I think it's up here at the top. Let me find it.
So it's really not really game-changing things. It's just if you have a card that says take a nap in a cabin, then this is what I would have to do.
There are definitely ones that are game-changing. It kind of depends on your... To start with, it's easiest to just look at your objectives, but there are some that, for example, the med bay, if you had a serious injury, you can use that to bandage yourself and things like that. The rooms themselves, though, the actual actions are listed in the manual. Over. You guys can read through the manual, too, if you guys want to, between turns or whatever. Real quick before you do, though, I need to look at the enemy event phase. Move the time marker on the time track. Move the self-destruct marker if it was active. It's not currently. Any intruders would attack. Fire damage. Resolve an event card. And then aliens. All right, so let's move the time tracker. We have 14 rounds to resolve this now. It was 15. Next is time marker's done. Intruders, there's no aliens out yet. There's no aliens to take fire damage. We need to resolve 1 event card. I'm going to shuffle these, and I'm going to pull 1, and then we're going to see what we have to do. All right, so the event card says... I got it over here on the left. All right, says Eclosion. Each character with a larva on their character board dies. Place a creeper in their room. Every character draws 4 cards from their deck and scans all... Oh, shit. All right. If they have at least 1 infected card... Oh, geez. Okay. This is bad news. We don't have... Nobody has a larva yet, so we don't need to worry about that. But everybody needs to draw 4 cards from your hand, or from your discardable hand. Tell me once you have your 4.
Okay.
Okay.
Yep, got it.
Ben, you got yours? You still going?
Oh, I have to get 5 cards also, right, for the new turn?
Not yet. Hang on. You have a maximum of, or minimum rather, of 5. So you already have more than 5 because of this draw.
Okay.
Okay, I think I accidentally put it with the rest of my other ones.
Which that's fine. That's where they're going to go.
Okay.
Yeah, but did you draw
Okay.
5 or draw 4 rather?
I drew 4.
Okay. All right. So
I just went down there.
all right. Now from those, and you don't say anything out loud here, but from the ones that you just took, if you drew any that says contamination on it, anybody have a contamination card? Go ahead. You might as well just go ahead and say it. Anybody?
That would be the name of the title
No.
of the card, right?
It's
It
obvious.
was
It says
contamination.
yeah, and it has a big like white and red box that's all like messed up, and you can't read what it says.
Nope.
Anybody?
Okay.
Nope.
Okay.
Good.
I don't. You know what? If they have at least 1 infected card, so I don't think anybody's gotten contamination cards yet. So I think this one we lucked out on because we normally basically, if you had, gummed up your deck by getting attacked by an alien, that kind of stuff, or a few other things that can happen here, then you could have potentially put contamination cards in your discard, and then they would be feeding back into your deck, and you would get them that way. So I think we're actually just got lucky right now. So we can ignore that one for now. That is going to go on the event that we've already used. No. There we go. No. Stupid thing. it places like it has these other hands over here. Remember when you guys first started and you and it showed Ben and Becky like on the other side of the deck? That's what was happening in this, and so I've got to remove all the other ones. So take snap off and put that. There we go. Cool. No. All right, that will work. All right, we are good there. All right, so next is the last thing for the enemy round is intruder bag development. Draw 1 token and resolve its effect. All right. So the aliens here all go into this thing called an intruder bag. Draw 1 token out of there. It is an adult. Now what do I do when I draw that? Intruder attack. Where do?
Maybe we need a gift channel to have all that in it.
Yeah, I mean, that wouldn't be a terrible idea. The thing is, if they're relevant to the game, I don't mind anyways. But
It's just when you're trying to scroll to find irrelevant information for the game and you come up with like 20,000 gifts, it's like,
that's
okay.
fair. That's fair. Maybe we'll think about it. We'll figure something out for throwing gifts
Like a
into.
general gift channel.
You could use the general channel at the top, anyways. That'll work fine, or the memes or something like that. Let's see. What do I mean? I see that, but what do I do? Intruder bag development. I guess that's what I'm looking for here. Intruder attack. Intruder bag development. Okay, page 27. All right. 13. 27. 25. There we go. All right, intruder bag development. There's another factor too that we won't be using, at least initially. Whoever dies first, there's an optional mode that whoever is the first player to die gets to control all the aliens, and you just basically play the rest of the game as all the bad guys, which is very brutal, and it makes the game extremely hard. So we won't be using that, but that is an optional rule that potentially we could if we chose to. All right, so it wasn't on that page. Oh, there's the rooms, Sako. This was your question. So this is the room sheet here, what each room does.
Nice.
But I need to skip to the next one. I'm trying to find what to do with this token after we drew it. It says intruder bag development is supposed to be on this page, but I'm not seeing it. There's playing as an intruder, solo mode. Googling. Alright, adult token is drawn in the event phase. No players in combat. Since this first encounter, no. Putting the token from bag development back in the bag. It goes back in immediately, so you can draw the same token. What? Sorry, guys. Sako, you only moved into the one room, so the noise was already handled. So that's not relevant there.
Mm-hmm.
What do I do with this stupid token? Oh, shit, this is a separate book. Okay, that's why. Alright. So in that case, I need 27 here. Alright, draw 1 intruder token from the intruder bag, which I pulled out and it was an adult. The effect depends on the token drawn or listed beginning of the next page. If the effect includes returning the drawn token to the bag, do this first. It's possible the remaining tokens can lead to you drawing the blah blah blah. Alright. Next page, an adult. Return the adult intruder token to the intruder bag. All players roll for noise in order. If a player character is in combat with an intruder, this player does not perform a noise roll. Okay. Well, that's bad news. So I have to put this token back in the bag. but we all have to make noise rolls, starting with
Ooh.
Ben. So Ben, you roll your noise first. So you click the little yellow one over here.
Oh, yes.
Oh shit, that is bad news. You got danger. Okay, so
Danger.
Ben, I think you just spawned. I think you just spawned 3 aliens around both Becky and I,
Danger.
because that means okay. So danger means that we would add another noise token to each of these, right? Well, there's already a noise token in each hallway that's connected to us. Hang on, is that move your hand, Holmes? Is that a red light right there? It is. Okay, so there's already
Yeah.
one in the in up here as well. I forgot about that. So there are connecting like tubes, like what's the word I'm looking for? Like basically,
Jeffrey's tubes. They just go behind the scenes.
like okay, so like a air duct basically that goes between, and the aliens climb through those too, and that's what that means. Anytime you see that little red, that little red thing with a number on it. So I forgot to put one on before, Ben, because you've got a noise in here before. But now that means we actually have 4 aliens that we're going to spawn around us. Noise, and that's just for this one room. So we're going to spawn those. Let me find the noise again here real quick. Noise. Noise rolls. Additional notes about intruder movement. All right, so 44 to 45. Any given corridor may never hold more than 1 noise marker. If you're instructed to place a noise marker in a corridor that already contains one, resolve an encounter instead. This includes the technical corridor, which is that hallway bit. All right, so resolve an encounter. Was that 4 or 5? Encounters in combat. Encounters 51. Alright, so to resolve an encounter, follow the steps. Discard all noise makers from all the corridors connected to this room. So Ben, if you would go ahead and just mouse over each of those yellow tokens that are surrounding us and delete it. We know that all 4 of them will have them. Draw 1 intruder token from the intruder bag. Each intruder has an intruder symbol on one side and a number on the opposite side. And place an intruder mini. Oh shit! All right, this is gonna suck. I think we probably just spawned 4 aliens right around us, Holmes. So let me
It's
grab
not
those.
letting me leave.
All right.
You mean the little noise tokens, right?
Yeah,
It's
the
not
little
letting
yellow
me
ones.
click delete. It wasn't doing anything when I clicked it.
All right, I'll grab them.
Okay.
There we go.
So we do got 4 aliens?
Yep. All right, so we're going to start with, we're going to do them in order. So hallway number 1 is here first. Drew an adult, which it can't just spawn 4. It has to be resolving the tokens, I assume, right? Let's see. Draw an intruder token. Each intruder token has an intruder symbol on one side and a number on the opposite side. But an adult would just mean more noise. That wouldn't make sense. It would just create more noise. It has to be a number on the opposite side. Place an intruder miniature in the room. Intruder type must correspond to the intruder symbol. All right, this is gonna be a quick game over, I think. Um, and it goes back in the bag. Hang on, shit. Does it go? Oh fuck. All right. We need an adult. There's one in that hallway right there. Leave their health at 0, I think, and it counts up. All right. Number 2 is the next one. That one is another adult.
We're so dead.
Yeah, we're kind of screwed. I don't think we can run through them either. All right, number 3 is the security hallway, and that one just spawns in the room with us, which is another adult. I don't know if I'm supposed to be throwing these back in the bag or not. I don't think so. I think once they're on the board, they're like part of the board. All right, so that one spawns in the room. This is the one that was in the vent. There. And then the last room is the one with the broken hallway. Way to go, Ben. And that one is a larva. All right, so
How big are these vents? Look at these aliens. What the hell, dude?
well, all right.
Oh, he's a little guy.
Yeah. Now the larvas, if they hit you, are the ones that will put one of the things inside of you, and then like you, well, if you get more than one, you instantly die, and a bunch of other potentially bad things there. So, right back here again. Here we go. Okay. Now, I'm hoping I did that right. I mean, that's what it says. So, compare the number on the intruder token with the number of cards in the player's hand. Action and contaminations cards are both counted. Oh, okay. Well, I definitely threw one away because I put it back in the bag. So let's look at the larva first. The larva's a 1. All right. So let me look at that real quick. Me, Ben, and Becky. If the number of action cards in your hand is lower than the number of the intruder token, a surprise attack occurs. All of us have more than one, right? You have more than one card in your hand already.
Yeah.
Especially because we drew those 4. If it's equal to or higher, nothing happens. Return the drawn intruder token to the pool of available tokens. Alright, so none of them are fleeing, so we don't need to worry about that. Alright, so the first one was the larva, so it does not surprise attack, so it goes back in the bag. The next one was one of the adults, was a 2. Everybody has more than 2, Ben and Becky.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alright, so that goes back in. The last adult was a 3. Everybody has more than 3?
Yeah.
Alright, so no surprise attacks. Return them to the pool of available tokens, and none of them hid, so we don't need to worry about that. And it's not a surprise attack, so we can ignore that. We didn't draw any blank tokens. Entering a room with an
flip table button is grayed out, so I'm pressing this to help save you, but it's not helping.
Yeah.
Damn it.
Each time a character enters a room occupied by an intruder, do not resolve an encounter. The intruder and the character are immediately considered to be in combat. Adult intruders retreat. If there are 8 adults. If we spawn 8 adults on the board, they all retreat and remove the adult and spawn another adult in the room. I thought that was where the queen spawned. All right. So I think that's because they didn't get a surprise attack, so now they just attack on our turn. We're just in combat with them, which, we can try. Well, they're not in the room with us, actually, so hang on. So they just spawned at the end of the round, but they didn't get to move because... hang on, let me go back to that page here. Event phase, time track, intruder attack. So it's time. We moved the time track. There were no intruders, so there was no... they didn't get to move. Each intruder in combat with a character attacks them, which didn't happen because that was earlier in the event phase. Intruder movement, event effect, we did that, and bag development. Okay. Noise in order. If a player is in combat does not perform a noise roll, return the adult intruder token to the intruder. Okay, so I did that right. Okay. Start a new turn. Okay, so we did everything. They not attacking yet, but now Ben and Becky we're both in combat with all 3 of us are in combat with the one that's in the room with us currently. The others that are in the hallways are not. I guess they're just in the hallway until they move. That doesn't seem right. It seems like they would have to be in the room with us because I don't. All right, I'm gonna have to study that more. For now though, they don't move. They just are spawned where the noise was. So, all right. So our coins are flipped. Ben, is your turn. So if you have anything to attack them or anything, you can. Health-wise, okay. Let me go while you're doing that. I'm gonna look at combat real quick because I remember they don't have that many hit points. Like they're generally a little easier to kill. Well, these guys are, but 51 and then 54. All right. Come on. Okay. Whenever both the character and an intruder are in the same room, they are considered to be in combat. In combat, a character may attack an intruder or escape during their action. Intruders attack characters during the event phase. So basically, you can try to flee, but every enemy that is in the room with you will automatically get an opportunity attack as you try to flee, and then on their turn they can chase after and attack you and so on. But otherwise, you can attack them too. So character may attack an intruder in the same room using a shoot action or a melee attack action using their turn. Ben, if you have a gun, so if you wanted to try to use that, you're going to roll a combat die. You would use the shoot basic action, which would cost you 1 card. So you choose a weapon and 1 intruder you want to shoot. You would discard 1 ammo from the weapon, so you would, the little ammo ticker, you would mark that down, and then you'd roll a combat die. So are you going to try to shoot, or are you going to try to run? Or do something else?
I think I'm going to try to shoot the one, because it's the one in the room with us, right? So
Correct. Yep.
So I'll shoot at that one.
Okay.
And that takes 1 card, so let me take a look.
Yep, so yeah, discard 1.
Okay.
Okay, and then increment your ammo down 1. You have 3 in there currently, so go ahead and mark it down to it's over here on your, right there. Mark that down to 2, unless you have a different weapon, like your item. Okay, and now you're going to roll the damage die. So that's the red one, where you have the 2 rollers there. Click that.
Click on it?
Yep.
Okay.
Okay, so you got the adult symbol. Hit less than or equal to an adult. So on that one, if your target is a larva, a creeper, or an adult, deal 1 injury to your target. If not, you miss. So if it was a higher level, then you would miss. But you did hit it. Melee attack is basically melee, by the way. You can always do melee even if you don't have ammo. But if you miss or certain other circumstances, you take a serious wound. Because you would swing at the, punch it or whatever, and they would, try to rip your arm off. You cannot attack other players, by the way. Even if you know they're bad guys, you can't attack other players. Let's see, combat example. So he's taken 1 damage. Go ahead and click the little red thing on him, Holmes, and set it to 1.
That would,
2,
yeah.
5. It won't. What?
Yeah, it worked, I think.
Okay. Yeah, as long as there's a number 1 on there, we're good.
Yeah.
All right. Injury effect. Larva and egg. 1 injury. So larvas and eggs, 1 injury will kill them, including just melee. Creeper or adult. Draw 1 intruder attack card. Ignore everything on this card except the blood symbol in the upper left corner. This is the if the number of the blood is equal to or lower than the current number of the injury markers that's killed, remove the mini, replace 1 intruder carcass. Okay. All right. So we need to draw an attack and ignore everything else on it. So come up here, Holmes. Up to the very top. We're gonna drop those arrows. Draw 1 of those cards and flip it and put it here. And we're gonna ignore everything else on it except for how many hit points it has. Alright, it's a stupid. Alright, I'll have to get rid of those zones.
Okay.
Alright, it has 3. So I'll set that there for now. So we ignore everything else on it. It has 3 total hit points right now. You've done 1 damage to it, so it has 2 left to go. How can we track? Maybe we set this to, yeah. So okay. So that we count down to 0 instead of trying to remember which one's which. It has 3 hit points. I'm going to decrement it down to 2 because you did 1 damage. Does that make sense, everybody?
Yeah, so he's got 2 left. That's how many he has left.
Yep, exactly. Yeah, we'll just use those as how much is left instead. All right, so he's got 2 left. That was 1 action. You still have another action, move, whatever you want to do. He will attack you if you move, of course. You can shoot him again if you wanted.
I can do melee? Is it just in the same room, or do I have to be standing?
No, you can. It's in the same room. Shooting is also in the same room. But yeah, you can melee him if you want to, but you do risk a serious injury if you miss or if you roll a certain thing on the die.
All right, I will give it a try anyway, though. So 1 card, right?
Yep. I'll go back over here and read the melee stuff for you real quick. Melee attack. Go ahead. Yeah, discard your 1 card. If a character is in a room with an intruder, they may perform a basic melee attack action against that intruder. You draw 1 contamination card and add it to your action discard. So just by punching it, you're going to take some contamination. So up here at the top, where are they? There it is. Okay, so you're going to grab one of these cards right here, Holmes. I'm going to shuffle them. Everybody come look up here real quick, and I'm going to show you what I was talking about with contaminations. Look up at the top here. On the left a bit. Whoa. Somebody was changing the size of the board. Hang on, let me fix that. Shit. How can I get that? Somebody changed the scale of the board and I gotta reduce it a bit. Down. Okay, I don't know what the hotkey was, but let me scale that hopefully back to where it was. Right. I think it's fixed. All right. So right over here, these are the contamination cards. Ben, I just shuffled them a bunch. Pull one off. Okay, and then flip it. Oh, it's already face down. Go ahead and put it in your discard pile. Actually, I guess you're gonna have to flip it back up anyways. Do not drop it on this thing over here. This scanner that's up here. When you basically right now, Ben, you have a contamination in your deck that is going to kind of gum up the works a bit. You don't know if you're actually infected. You don't know if you actually have a tadpole in you or anything like that. You won't know until you go to a certain room to be able to scan that, or certain other cards that tell you if you have a tadpole, or a larva. But if you go to a certain room that lets you scan it, you'll pick that card up and you'll drop it on this thing up here, and it'll tell you if you're infected or not. In the physical game, you're going to drop it. I'll drag it over for you. It's going to go in your discard pile. There you go. So this discard pile, when you run low on cards, that's going to get fed back into your actions, and it's going to gum up the works a bit. So for now, meaning that you would have fewer options to be able to choose from. But you drew a contamination. That's done. You're going to choose the intruder you want to attack. Roll your combat die.
Be the same one as before.
The same icon as before.
Okay. Yeah.
The same enemy. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Go ahead and roll your die. Ooh, all right. So I think that's good news. That is deal 1 injury to your target, regardless of the intruder's type. So go ahead and mark his health down 1. I think you right-click it to move it down. You should have 1 hit point left after you're done. All right, cool. Okay, so end of your turn then. Go ahead and flip your card over to pass, and then give the token over to Fox. What you doing, Fox? Oh, shit, hang on. No, sorry, we're not done yet, guys. I'm sorry. Well, shit. We kind of already passed it. The event thing that we were supposed to do was everybody had to roll noise. We only rolled it for Ben.
Oh.
Okay.
I don't want to go back. Go ahead and whatever you want to do here, Fox. You rolled silent anyways, so Becky, or Fox rather, you wouldn't have made any noise.
So I'm gonna send a signal.
Okay. Do you have a card or anything that lets you do that, or is it just the room, or what? Yeah, that room's not on fire or anything, so like you can just send a. Is it like one of your special abilities or something for your class?
It's the objective thingy. It just says send a signal.
Okay. Oh, you know what? Here, I'll look at the rooms. That's where it is. All right, let me go back to the rooms board. Rooms is 9. All right, so come look over here, Fox. Over the instructions page over here. Comms room. It costs 2 cards to do it. It says place a status marker on the signal space for your character board. Right over here where it says comms room. So it costs 2 cards to do it. Sending a signal is a requirement for some objectives and has no other game use than that. All right, so your objective there would be completed. It says the what space on your board did it say? Doesn't matter. I guess drop it on your objective then. Oh shit. Alien spawned. We have to choose your objective. So go ahead and, assuming that you wanted to keep that one, Fox, go ahead and discard your other one. Everybody look at your cards. The alien spawned, so we have to discard one of your objectives.
Okay.
What do we do with the one that we're not keeping?
Just drop it on the board, like over here for now, like over here below the book. I think I can probably just delete them, but just for now, in case we have to refer to them later, just put them over there.
I need to discard 2 cards?
Yeah, discard 2 of your action cards. Ben, way over here. I can grab it for you okay. Yeah, 2 of your action cards to do the signal, and that only takes 1 of your actions for the turn, so you still can do another one if you want to. That is. Yeah, I'm gonna discard that. So the one I'm discarding, guys, my objective that I'm not doing is either I had to make certain that Fox's character did not survive, so everyone else can live as long as Fox dies. I would still win. or I'm the only survivor. So all of you could die, and I could survive, and I would still have won. But you can have multiple winners too, by the way, or everyone can die and lose. Like that's possible too.
Question
Yep.
about the objective cards.
Mhm.
Okay, so both of my objective has send a signal, but
Okay.
one of them has like 2+ and the other one has 5+ on it.
So that is the number of players. So if basically if there were only 3 players, then that one of those wouldn't have shown up. So you might have an objective, like basically for mine was to kill player number 4, which would be you. So I didn't choose that one, but if there were only 3
I'm
players,
number
that would.
5.
No, you're number 4.
I'm player
Oh
5.
shit! I'm sorry. Never mind. I was looking at order, and yeah, you're right. Yeah, I'm 2. Yeah, I was looking at left to right, but you're right. You are number 5. So that would have been Sako. I would have had to kill
Objectives
Sako.
we're not doing?
Over here, over by the book on the left. And I just to keep some of them. Yeah, exactly. I just flipped it upside down so we still have some surprises when we're playing future games. You still flip that back over, Fox, because we still don't want to know what everybody's objective is. So still keep it
Now
secret.
look at. Yeah, I was just trying to see what. Remember what it was. That's all.
You're fine. You're fine. Go ahead and I'm gonna move it for everybody. Just put your objective, and I'll flip them. Put your objective on the board there, face down. That way they're kind of your hand is just your hand now, basically. Once we did that, I should have done that when I hit the begin game thing at the beginning, and I forgot to hit it. So still figuring it out. All right, Fox. That was one action. You still have another action. What are you gonna do?
Right.
There are still 2 items in the room if you have a search, if you wanted to.
Yeah, I'll use search.
Okay.
So it says reduce item count by 1, draw 2 item cards and the same colors the room you're in, and pick one and discard the other.
Yep. So that room is yellow. So you're going to choose 2 of the yellow items from right here. Yeah, increment that down. And pick 2 of these yellow cards. Oops, I hit the wrong thing here. 2 of these yellow cards. Just pull them over to the right. And then you need to, just draw 2 of them out of there. And don't flip. Just a quick click and drag, not a click and hold. There you go. Okay, that'll work. Just choose one of them. You're going to put the other one in the discard pile. And be careful not to accidentally flip them over. Like, you're the only one that can see those.
Crap. Both items can be useful.
That's how it goes.
I have a question about a card I have.
Okay.
I'm just going to put it here.
Okay, so
in theory, this card, if I go back into the other room, I could take out the fire, right?
Discard a fire marker. Yeah. Yep. So you could spend 1 card. It would cost you your action and 1 card. One of your action cards to use that. But you could use that to put the fire out. Yes.
Okay.
But you would also need to move in there, which you can't do currently because you.
No, that's fine.
Yeah.
Okay. I guess I'll keep the other item.
Okay. So the one you don't want, you go ahead and drop it there, and I'll put it away.
Yeah. So that's it was a fire extinguisher or something else.
Sure.
The fire extinguisher. Since I have the pyro card, I'll just use that.
Okay. All right. So that is put away. Put that. That needs to go on your sheet up here. Just keep it face down and just put it over here. There you go. If it'll let you line it up. I'll go through and fix all these stupid zones later. All right.
There we go. I'll put it there.
That was 2 actions, so that's your turn. You've already flipped over to pass, so you're good there. I'll move the token over. All right, my turn.
I'd forgotten to flip it back when we restarted.
No problem. All right, I am in the room with the alien here, so I can't just leave. I'm going to, my special ability here, if you guys look at your trait card at the bottom middle of your character sheet, the kind of big sideways card, mine is I can just keep shooting, basically. It says when you hit an intruder with a 6-shooter, you can perform another shoot action, even multiple times, against the same target with the 6-shooter. This action has no card cost and does not count toward your limit of actions on your round, but I have to check the injury effect after my last shot. So I could just keep firing, basically, as long as I had ammo to kill it. But I would take an injury, potentially. But that said, I don't need to do that because he's only got 1 hit point left, so as long as I don't roll terribly, I could probably just shoot him as it is. I'm going to use 1 action to shoot him then, Decrement my shooting down. I'm going to lose 1 card. Ooh, that's handy. I don't want to lose that. Oh, jeez. Well, I'll lose that for now. That would be a bad guy card. All right. So shooting is... I spent the card. I did that already. Choose a weapon and intruder you want to shoot. Discard 1 ammo. I did that. Roll the combat die. Okay. All right, rolling the combat die. 2. Nope, it rolled back over 2, and it hit greater than adult, greater than or equal, so it does hit, which is enough to kill him. So he is now dead. Nope, down. He dies, and it is replaced with a carcass. There are certain situations where you might need a carcass of an alien, so anybody, if you happen to have an objective where you need the carcass of one, we've just killed one, it's in this room now, right here. It is dead. Let's see. Attacking players, can't do that. Combat example, character escape, okay. Let me turn that down again, sorry. I need a better bot that doesn't constantly, because every time that messes up, I have to redo it, and then everything's broken with it, so. I know what's in here. I just saw it about that thing. Basically, all right. So there's a carcass in the room now. So it took me 1 action to do that. It is dead. I'm going to. Shit. I could help one of you flee, but that wouldn't help my objective. I don't want to move through them. Oh, we need to roll. Okay, sorry. I needed to roll their hit points too for them. All right, so one of them has 4, and one of them has 2. So let me put those on there now. 4 and 2. All right. And then I'm going to... Shit. The larva only has 1 hit point, but I'd have to move through him to be able to go back to the room anyways. I guess I might as well shoot again. I'll shoot at the adult with 2 hit points, because at least maybe I can kill it, and that would reduce the number that would be attacking us. Let me see if I got anything better to attack it with. That won't help right now. Move yourself or 1 chosen character without triggering. Ooh. I could do that. That would let me flee and screw you guys, but... Alright, I'm just going to shoot. Alright, increment that back down again. Spend a card. Get rid of that. And damage die, I'm shooting at the one that has 2 hit points, the adult. 2 damage. Alright, that kills him then. Double tap. Alright, oops. Alright, so that one is dead. Another carcass in the hallway there. Oops. They have to spawn in the room. That's the only thing that makes any sense. Like it. They must have spawned in the room of the person that made the noise then? I'll need to reread that, but that's the only thing that makes any sense. So, okay, that is it for my turn. I'll flip to pass, and that brings us to Becky.
Okay. I am going to use my adrenaline card. So I'm going to perform a shot action and draw an action card.
Okay.
Oh, where's my stuff? There
Sako, you're up next.
I will do that. And I grab this.
You'd let you pull one of your discards back?
Yeah, it just said draw an action card.
Cool.
And then, so what do I do to shoot? Hit the.
So
red
your
box?
adrenaline was 1 action then? Of your 2?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Right.
it was.
Okay, so you would choose...
Yep. Yeah, so that's.
perform a shoot action and draw... Oh, okay, so this only one of your actions is this shooting, not just you still have... Okay. And draw an action card? Oh, okay, I see what it is. Okay. Go ahead, you can go ahead and put that away. All right, so this shooting is part of this one, and you still have your second action after. right. What you do is decrement your ammo. So, assuming you're going to use this energy weapon rifle, so mark that
Yep.
down 1. Okay. Roll a damage die. Actually, first, which one are you shooting? Are you shooting the larva or the adult with 4 hit points?
The larva.
Okay. Larva only has 1 hit point, so go ahead and roll a damage die.
Red.
Yep. Double tap. All right, so he's dead. And larva, I think larvas still leave a body. Let me double check. They might leave an egg. Intruder injuries and death. 1 injury is enough to kill them. Remove the miniature from the board. Adult or intruder, draw 1 attack card, blah, blah, blah. So they leave a carcass. Larvas do not. All right, so larvas and eggs, you just kill them and they just are gone. So that one is dead. That is free. You still have another action.
And I can just shoot another one. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a basic action. Yeah, so you would, it still costs you 1 card, so you would just discard 1.
One do I have to do? Two.
I'm starting to realize this game is more like Aliens with an S than it is. Wait, Alien 3, I guess, than it is Alien 1. Alien 1, there's only the one, and it's, flee. This one, you can kill them. There's a lot more shooting, I guess. I think that's a miss. Yeah, blank as you miss. Hang on. There might be something special if you shoot at a one in. No, okay. If you miss when you melee, then you get a serious wound. So shooting, you miss, nothing happens. Other than losing your ammo. Did you mark down your ammo?
Oh, no.
Okay. All right. That it for your turn.
Yep, that's all I can do.
That brings us to Sako.
Right, because each card is an action, right?
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, they don't always, have a card, but yeah. In this case, yes. What you doing, Sako? Sako, you with us?
Oh, can you hear me?
Yep. Yeah, we can hear you now.
There it goes. Guess I was on mute. I was saying, you have that 1 intruder adult, and there's 3 of you over there still. So I think you guys pretty much have that. So I'll start moving my unit this way.
Okay.
So we'll flip this card here.
All right, so 2 and a malfunction.
It's a malfunction 2. 2 items.
Yep.
Flip. Grab.
So rotate that till the 2 is by the arrow. There you go. Perfect. Okay, and then put a malfunction token on there. You can delete that one. You got to grab one of the gears over to the right.
Oh, sorry. Yep.
You're good.
Delete that one.
Okay.
All right, monitoring room. Check 1 room and exploration token.
That's a room action that you could do that if you want to. Now it would, go ahead and drop yourself in. I'll move you over just a little bit. But we need to roll for noise. Yep, so do that because you're the only one in that room so far. Yep. 2. All right, so hallway number 2. Drop a noise token on it, and someone you just came out of. Good, perfect. All right, so that was 1 action to get there. Now you could, as your other action, if you wanted to, this monitoring room. You can choose any room you want to on the board. It'll cost you 2 cards. You'll just discard 2 cards, but you can choose any room you want to, and you can flip it, and it's exploration. Or you can, use any of your cards or move again, whatever you want to do.
Okay, but the room is broken. I can't do it until it's fixed.
Oh, shit.
Right?
Sorry, that's correct. Yes, this room is, malfunction. Yep.
So what I will do then is I will use an item.
Okay.
To discard a malfunction marker from the room I'm currently in.
Okay.
So what do I do for that? Just put it over here.
Drop it. Yeah, let me look at it because I want to see if they're consumed when that happens. I assume it is. Let me see. So you have to discard 1 card, so 1 regular card, to do this. Repair or break the engine if you were in there. Open or close a door. Okay, so yeah, discard. Okay, that's it. So that will go in the discard pile.
Okay, this goes in the discard. So I discard this card over here.
Okay.
Where's the discard pile?
This one right here.
Right there.
Yep.
Got it. On. Boom.
Okay. And
so
then,
now I get rid of this.
Yep. Oh, hang on.
Whoa, not that.
There you go. Perfect. Cool.
Put that away. So now my next turn, I could spend 2 turns to do monitoring.
You could spend 2 cards. It would only take 1 action, so you could still do that and move or anything else too. Yep.
Yeah. All right, so that'll be.
And
I've
that,
already used all my actions, so
yeah.
I'm good to go.
All right, go ahead and flip your card over to pass. Or actually, let's see. Well, yeah, go ahead and flip it over to pass because now we have to do the aliens again. Which they're, that's that could be bad news because there's one alive currently. All right, so aliens
This might
turn.
be it for the night too.
Yeah, we're getting close to time here too. Back to, was it the first page? Event phase. All right. Let me go to the full description. Probably this book here. Exploration, flow of the game, event phase, 25. All right. All right, so event phase, move the time track. So we now have 13 rounds remaining. Then intruder attack. So they now attack us. That is, I should make a copy of that book. And then fire damage. Nobody's in fire damage, so we don't have to worry about that. Resolve event. All right, so we can get to that. Okay. Intruder attack was combat, and I think that was 52. All right. No, that's intruder injuries. Intruder attack. There we go. All right, so it's not a surprise. Intruder attack step in the event phase. Character escape. All right, determine the target. Choose the character who is the target of this intruder attack. The intruder may only attack a character in the same room. It's got to be in the same room. The hallways just must not be spawnable locations for them. I'm gonna go ahead and move him in. Kind of low on space, so there we go. All right, back over here. If there is more than one character in the room, they always attack the character who's has the fewest actions in their hand. So, how many cards, Ben and Becky, do you guys have in your hand?
6.
Holmes? I have 6 as well.
All right, 5.
You have 5?
Yeah.
Becky, I see. Oh, hang on. That was, yeah. All right, so
Yeah, 5.
you and Becky, you have 6. Ben, okay, so that means it's you, Holmes. Fewest actions in their hand. It's not a surprise, and we can ignore escape. Draw an intruder attack card. If the card displays an intruder symbol corresponding to the attacker, resolve the effect described in the card. If not, the attack misses. Oh, shit. Well, that's interesting. Okay, so we're going to come up here, Holmes. That one right there. You're going to pull one card off and drop it over here so that it's separated enough that we can see it. I'm going to try to get it there, but I don't know if it'll let us.
Yeah.
Then flip it. It's an adult, which it doesn't have that. So see those symbols in the middle, the 3, and then they're like 5 around it. That would be like a queen. Yeah, the symbols that are right there, right above frenzy. If that had the adult symbol, which is the 2-tail, like it looks basically kind of like a yin yang, I guess. If it had the adult symbol, then we would have to do everything on the card. This one, since it doesn't have the adult symbol, the attack just misses.
Lucky.
Yep. All right, so that will go here in the discard. Yeah, these stupid things. All right, I'm gonna have to just leave it over here for now until I delete those zones. All right, so attack misses then. If not, the attack misses. During intruder attack, ignore the blood symbol in the upper left corner. After resolving, intruder attack card is placed in the intruder discard pile. If you run out of cards in the intruder, shuffle them back in. Larva's different, so we can ignore that because it was not a larva. All right, so that's it for that attack then. All right, so that's the only intruder that's alive right now. So intruder fire damage, that doesn't matter. Resolve an event card. So now we're going to pull another event like we did last time. The event, I'm dropping it up in the top left, everybody, is malfunction. It says place a malfunction marker in the explored room with the lowest room number. Oh, okay, like loot number then is what it means. Okay, then shuffle this card back into the event deck. All right, so which room that is currently visible has the lowest number? Both of those have 2. The fire room has 1. And the room that
Mine
Fox
has
is in
1.
has 1. And the room that all of us are in has 1. All right, so there's a tie for 1s. So is it all of them? Let's see. And shuffle this card. Okay, I guess we just pick one. It doesn't say all of them, so it's just one. Fox, you've already done your comms thing, right? Can we break that room now? Would that be okay?
I'm kind of still in it.
Well, okay. All right. I guess that's not fair. I was asking like you've already broke. Well, it wouldn't hurt anything if you've already done your comms. But if you needed to do another signal thing, then
No. Okay. So, no, that's fine. You could break. I
it doesn't
thought,
hurt
like,
you. It doesn't do anything.
okay, if it doesn't hurt me, that's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, I already sent my signal.
Okay. Yeah. All it does is that the room would not be able to send another signal, which wouldn't have been fair for me to ask that. I should have not asked it that way. We should have just rolled a die or something. But that is a second one then. No, because Soccer repaired one. Yeah, so that's two. All right. All right. That is.
I just figured, like, breaking the room, does that mean, like, the room is, like, gonna, like, kill me or something?
No.
That's all I was worried about.
Yeah, fire, if you're in the room with fire, that'll take damage. Otherwise, it also has to be put out before you can use the room. But malfunction just means that the room, whatever purpose it has, is not useful until that's repaired.
Oh, but I can repair things. Not that I need to.
Yeah, exactly. You could spend your turn doing that, but if you don't need to send a signal, then it wouldn't, necessarily be useful for you. All right, so that is it for the event card. Oh, I have to factor that back in, and I have to pull a token from the intruder bag. That gets shuffled back into the events. No, shit. I just put it in the wrong deck. There it is. Alright, 19. Alright, that's good. Alright, token from the bag is another adult token. I think that was the one that everybody... Shit. I think that was one where everybody has to pull a noise token. Or roll a noise. Let me double check here. Intruder bag development tokens. Alright, 2829. Return it to the intruder bag. All players roll for noise in order. Alright, so we roll for noise, everybody. Hang on. If you're already in rooms with an intruder, you do not roll for noise. Okay, so if player's character is in combat with an intruder, meaning we're in the room with them, so that means just Fox, you roll first for noise, and then Sako, you roll for noise. Oh shit. Alright, so Fox rolled danger, well, shit. Now Fox is surrounded as well, because there's already noise in the 3 that surrounded Fox's room. We'll delete those. And the spawning, I think I'd draw them from the bag. So the first one, Fox, around you, is a larva. And that is in hallway 1 and 2. Next one, Fox, and that one has 1 hit point. You have more than 1 card, right, Fox?
Yeah, I have more than 1 card.
Okay, alright, so it's not a surprise attack. Second one is an adult. Do you have more than 3 cards?
Yes, I have 1.
Okay.
5.
Okay. Alright, here's an adult in the next hallway, which is 3. So there. We have to roll his hit points. An arrow, so he's going to flee. I don't remember what that means. I think he goes into the ducts. I'll have to check. He doesn't have hit points, though. I think he just goes into the ducts, if I remember right. Alright, and the last one is another larva with 1. Thought you have more than 1 card. We knew that, so those go back in. There we go. Alright, another larva with a single hit point in this hallway there. Alright, that is it. Sako, go ahead and roll your sounds, and then we'll call it there.
All right, noise coming up. Oh,
Shit.
That's not good.
Alright, well, there's 1 definite, and then 2 that are going to spawn, so that'll be 1 sound here and 1 sound here. But this hallway here, well, there was already 1 there, so that's going to be
Alien.
an alien. Yep, so let's pull 1 out. It is blank. I don't remember what blank means. Let me see. Blank is
Ammo
return it.
drop.
Return it to the intruder bag. Add 1 adult intruder to the token. Okay. All right. So nothing else. Like no more spawn next to you, but it adds one adult to the like potential spawn.
Oof.
Ah, these stupid zones are really irritating. All right. And 1 more adult to pull that out, and that goes in the bag. All right. All right, so that is it for now. Next time we get to play, we'll be starting from the beginning of the round, which will be, because that was the end of the turn here, so we'll be starting with Ben next time we get to play. Sound good?
Sounds great.
Sounds good.
That was fun.
It's, I think we'll go a lot faster, obviously, once we're kind of get it down a little more, but yeah, I think it'll be a lot of fun. So far, it's, slow, but just kind of getting to learn everything, so. That was fun, everybody. I'll talk to you all later.
Thank you.
All
See you.
right.
Bye, guys.
Night, everybody.
Have a good weekend.